Hello and welcome to the program. A week-long training for future people's deputies from Servant of the People has ended in Truskavets in Lviv region. At the initiative and expense of the party, the Kyiv School of Economics opened its doors to give Servant of the People's incoming deputies a crash course on economics and lawmaking. To talk more about the outcomes of the training, we're joined in the studio today by Andriy Kovalyov. He's a teacher at Kyiv School of Economics. Hello and thank you for joining us. So first question, some 30 to 35 professors, faculty members and practitioners with expertise in this area field were teaching deputies. Now you were among the teachers. What did you personally taught them?
I was responsible for the moderator part, so it was like split into groups, the teachers and the moderators, and I was responsible for working with parliamentarians, future parliamentarians, in groups and giving feedback on their strategies and their documents. Was it the first time for you to do that kind of thing, that kind of event?
And
no, we in Kyiv School of Economics we do quite many different learning courses for grown-ups or for professionals, okay. Right? In procurement, in public policy, and sometimes big corporations like Ukrenergo or National Bank of Ukraine, they also have some kind of a training in Kyiv School of Economics. So it's not a new format for us, but it is a new format in a way that this is a very big group of future parliamentarians who are going to serve in the parliament and who are very much motivated, and I think it is one of the first examples when the party which have won the race, they immediately turn to some educatory courses and they want to improve significantly in this way.
Now, what would be you said grown up is kind of funny way to say it. What would you say is the difference between teaching, let's say, to students. Usual students and
yes. Of course, there are some differences. First of all, these people, they are professionals in their fields, so we were not able to force anyone to attend. Nevertheless, I guess 95% of all future parliamentarians, they enrolled, and approximately 80% were always every day engaged, which is a quite high number for grown-ups, as we say. So we are not forcing anyone, we just show how things work, how public policy is formed, and we also invite them to write documents. Every day was finishing with some document. It was a personal strategy of the parliament member, then the public policy strategy, how it's going to be implemented, and then the actual kind of law draft law. And these documents, they were submitted by approximately 75 to 80% of all who were there, which is also a high percentage. So we see quite high motivation, and we cannot say that it was a fun exercise. It was a quite tense exercise as well.
Now, there's an interesting thing here. This idea was to also teach, I guess, some process, some ways of dealing with parliament, and some. And Zelensky's party, Servant of the People, also was elected on the basis of reforming also the parliament. How to teach a certain structure, pre-existing model, while keeping this will of reform.
Right. So how the parliament is elected is changing now, yes, but the public policy process, the client, like the problem of a client and the concept of a client, right? That you are the public servant to some taxpayers, right? And they are your clients. So this concept and how you analyze the problem, how you come up with solutions, how you prioritize those solutions. So this concept, I think, is not going to change, right? And we were teaching this process, and also very importantly that everything needs to be evidence-based and fact-based. So we were really trying to change this paradigm from discussing how people look, how members of parliament are dressed, what cars they are driving, and to change it into the ideas discussion and the discussion of their policy and how they're gonna implement it. And we think we started this movement in that direction. Of course, it's not finalized yet, but at least it started.
Would you say that more it could be something that could be applied regularly? Let's say like every year, every 6 months, there could be some sort of retraining, update.
I think I definitely think so, because this 1 week program,
it's a bit short,
of course you cannot teach all the technical aspects, of course. So we have shown the big kind of directions to them, and what is macroeconomy, and what are the big concepts like inflation and debt and GDP, but of course not like very technical peculiarities. And the practical work, like these documents which I mentioned, in the very beginning they were very like raw, and they were getting better every day, and of course they need to get better even in coming months. So as we have discussed with the party, I guess they are aware of this process of continuing education is needed, and I guess everywhere in the world there is a trend to this continuous lifelong education. So I think they also understand that. And at the moment, we have some requests from other parties.
Okay, like can you say names, or maybe
probably
maybe not?
But
Okay.
but I think this is also a good sign of education awareness, and be it Kyiv School of Economics or any other educational institution. It is good that this kind of discussion and movement has started.
Now, the fact that new faces, there's a lot of new faces in this party, right? And different backgrounds. So we have there's an actor, a wrestler, wedding photographer, pizzeria owner, fitness club director, you name it.
Right.
What does it bring, and does it bring some sort of new, let's say, a different perspective to that kind of course that you're training? Did you manage to see like those,
Yeah. These are very different people, you're right. And very often people are mentioning this photographer or dancer, but from the other hand, there are people from public policy, from business, from social security, NGOs. So it's a very mixed crowd. And some of them have a very solid understanding of what they're going to do, and they have their own strategy. Some of them, they don't. So one of the goals of this exercise was to actually make them work together, form a proto committees which will function in the parliament, and to bring up those ideas and discuss them. And those people who are less prepared, they were seeing, these best practices from the better prepared colleagues, and I think it helped a lot. So they are this exercise before them coming to the parliament to understand what is a public policy, what are the arguments used. And now these people, they definitely started to think and form their future law proposals.
Now, having those that kind of process and teaching process and creating that kind of collective, would you say that how will it influence the behavior as a group in the party? Like, can we imagine that at least it could reduce the form of incidents that, unfortunately, the Verkhovna Rada used to be known for, like the fighting between deputies and things like that?
Yes. Hard to tell. I think it is definitely good that they met in this format beforehand. This is for sure. So that they were able to listen to each other and understand the agendas. So this is very good. Also, what was very good, we were inviting some lecturers who are either current public servants, for example, the CEO of Ukrenergo company, who was lecturing on an energo sector, and others. And this was very good as well, so that the current policies and the way they were formed and the reasons why they are the way they are were somehow transferred to this new parliament. So I am not saying that all the laws and all the policies which are now active will be continued, but there was a chance and exchange of thoughts on why these policies are the way they are now. So this is very good, I guess.
But so there is this idea of continuity and transmitting it, but how to ensure that critical thinking also stays, that because maybe some old policies which are maybe transmitted are not necessarily for the best. Exactly. How do you as a teacher emulate this critical senses in between?
As I said. We were every day there was this lecture, then the group exercise, group discussion, and every day, each day was finishing with some kind of a document which each parliamentarian needed to write, and then this document was actually kind of checked by us every day as well. And we were giving them feedback also the next day. So it was very helpful as well. So they could see what it's not a critique yet, but it's a kind of a critical look on why they propose what they propose, what they lack. They lack some numbers, some evidence, for example, sometimes. So we were showing that to them, and this was helpful. So I think. I hope this also prepared them for not only yelling at each other, but to presenting their arguments with a numbers, evidence, and be well prepared.
Now a bit of a more personal question. That's what you brought to the grown-ups of pupils, or however we can call them, future lawmakers. What about you? What did you take out of this experience personally?
That was very intense. So we were. This is the first program of this kind, I guess, in Ukraine. Not a program, but the format. Yeah. So format was very interactive, and we needed to prepare in quite a short period of time. So I think we understood that if there is a motivation, we can, prepare quite. High quality, course in a short period of time, which is good, and also, I mean, this motivation is driving everyone. Yeah, so it wasn't fun by any means, but it was like a very motivating experience, and I guess we were driving them and they were driving us. Yeah, so that was very, very helpful.
Well, thank you very much for enlightening us about this whole one-week course for future lawmakers. It was a pleasure to have you in the studio today.
Thank you.
That was Andriy Kovalyov, teacher at Kyiv School of Economics. Thank you for watching Head to Head, and stay tuned for the rest.